This is my favorite day every year. It's so exciting to see you guys and to be able to celebrate with you, because I see you on what some of you may feel is your worst day of your life because you're taking the test. And it's so fun to actually be able to say congratulations, you've done it, because at that point we don't know yet when you're working on it. So it's really exciting. I'm so happy you're here. And I think what we'd like to do, actually, we'd like to take a moment and recognize all the people who supported you. I know you have a lot of friends and family here, and even some teachers who may have helped you through the Literacy Project or the Career Center. So how about if you guys give a round of applause to all of your supporters? Because we know that this is a big deal. You've worked really, really hard to get where you are. And it's very exciting that you're here tonight. Okay. I'd like to introduce Bob Pura, who's the president of Greenfield Community College, to say a few words.
Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello. This is a celebration, you know. So, on behalf of all the faculty and the students and the staff of GCC, I want to welcome everybody here tonight. We're really so pleased to be here and to have this celebration here at GCC. So tonight, you all graduated. That's extremely powerful for all of you. So do you know what the most important outcome of this graduation is? There's a lot of good things that will come of it, but more than anything else, it's your discovery that you know how to learn. Nobody could take that away from you. You now know, how to learn. That will serve you, whether you go to college to work or after college you go to work, that will serve you for the rest of your lives. The ability to learn how to learn is the most powerful outcome of an education. So I want to say congratulations that you've achieved that. So now you're ready to take the next step. But I know that step is a hard one. Inside each of you is a passionate desire to learn, a passionate desire to grow and to strive to reach your potential. Inside each of you is the desire to work hard to create a better life for yourselves and your families. In each of you are dreams that are just waiting for you to act on. So what holds each of us back from taking the steps necessary to achieve those dreams? Let me share with you just a quick story about somebody that I met and somebody who will always remain in my mind as an inspiration for this moment. So when I was in graduate school at the University of Texas at Austin, I had the opportunity to hear a lot of people speak. And one particular person who came to speak in our class was a gentleman by the name of Dr. Alfredo de los Santos. Dr. Alfredo de los Santos. And Dr. de los Santos was the vice chancellor for the entire community college system of Maricopa County in Arizona. Dr. de los Santos spoke of his role as an academic leader. It is a huge job with extraordinary opportunity. What I remember most, more than his presentation about programs or the job that he does, was his conversation about and his reflections about his personal journey coming across the border from Mexico as a child into the United States. What it was like for him to be the first in his family as a Mexican American to graduate from high school. What it was like for the first person in his family to go on to a college degree, and then for him to get a doctorate. Not one person in his family ever had any of those experiences. He had no one in his family to turn to say, how do I get through high school? How do I get through college? But he did all of that to become this incredible academic leader for an entire city. So we were all in tears as Alfredo began to cry with pride and humility as he talked about what it had meant to his parents, to his children, and to himself. So it was customary to have lunch with all these folks, and we would have a reception line, and we'd always wear our little name badge. as we went down the line introducing ourselves. And we'd say, "Hi, I'm Bob Pura," and the person would say hi, and we'd go have lunch. And it was a way to get to know people outside of their role. You know, he was the chancellor. It was a pretty big deal. But now he was Alfredo that we could talk to at the lunch table. And that was an important part of our education. So one by one, he would shake our hand. And so when I got to him, I said, "Hi, my name is Bob Pura, and I want to thank you for your presentation." He looked at me and he said, "Pura." I said, "No, I kind of get what you're thinking, but my name is Bob Pura." "Pura," he would say. "Pura, Roberto Pura. Be proud of who you are," he yelled out. Again, I smiled, and now I can hear all my classmates kind of chuckling, laughing out loud at what had just transpired. But I said, "Well, my dad is an immigrant, and he came to this country, but he came from Poland, not from Mexico." And he looked at me for just a second, kind of not quite hearing what I was saying, and then he started to laugh. He was a bigger guy, and he picked me up and gave me a big old bear hug. And then the whole class created these T-shirts that said, "Be proud of who you are." And it was just an extraordinary, powerful moment and a message about what it's like to be a border crosser. 3 years later from when I was in that program at the University of Texas, Alfredo's son graduated from UT, and today he's the CEO for the League for Innovation. First person to graduate high school, first to get a college degree, and then his son also gets a PhD, and he's running this big consortium of community colleges. Each of you sitting here today understands the journey of a border crosser. You know what it's like to achieve a GED or a HiSET, but you know mostly what it's like to cross a border. You are all entering a new land as you walk through the doors of the HiSET on a journey of your life. So I have a photo of my dad, the one photo that I keep of him. It's on the wall in my, right above my computer at home, and it's the one that's not the phony smile, you know, the one that we all take when we're just posing for stuff and you have a little smile. And I didn't like any of those of Dad, but I liked this particular one because he was at work at a delicatessen. He was an immigrant, worked all of his life in a delicatessen, had Wednesdays off. One picture I have of him is him at work. Has his arms out like this with 5 big salamis in his hand. He found what brought passion and meaning and joy in his life. It was working at that delicatessen. So from nursing to engineering, leadership in a small business to entrepreneurship, being a plumber to a philosopher or a physician. We here at GCC really don't care what position or career path you might pursue, only that you work to live the life that you want for yourselves and your families. Dear graduates, and that's you, graduates, never let your past harness your future. Don't hold yourself back from living the life that you want for yourselves and that you want for your families. You have proven to yourselves and to all of your loved ones that you can do this. Don't let anyone or anything stop you from getting the education and then the quality of life that you dream about for yourselves and for all in your family. I wish for all of you all of those things, and with hard work, you will achieve them. My congratulations to each of you, and I hope to see all of you soon at GCC. We will hold a seat for you. Congratulations.
Next, we have another speaker. Her name is Judith Roberts. She's the Executive Director of the Literacy Project. And I know that some of you came through the Literacy Project on your way to the test, and others of you came through other routes. I'd like to introduce Judith, please.
Good evening, graduates. This is a special night, and you're a very special group. Is everyone from Franklin County? Where are you from? All of our graduates. Yeah? Okay. Well, we're all really, really proud of you, and we're here to celebrate with you. Tonight, you are our heroes, and you inspire me. I think you inspire all of us. You took the test, you passed the test, and I know it's a hard freaking test. It's a hard test. I took several of the practice tests. I'm not going to tell you how I did on them, but I know it was really hard. So great work, all of you, and we are so proud of you. And I want to tell you, if I have just one thing to say to you, it's this. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That's one thing. So remember, when life gets you down or things get in your way, they're not going so well, remember how you felt when you found out you passed the test, how you feel tonight. Remember that, savor that feeling, and carry it forward. If you ever feel downhearted, you can remember that. Someone once said that education is what happens when you read the fine print. Experience is what happens when you don't read the fine print. Now, we have, all of us here in this room, we have a lot of experience. Some of us a little bit too much, but anyway, the problem with learning from experience is you don't graduate. You read the fine print, you got the education, and you graduated. So we are very proud of you, and I especially exhort you to keep going. Keep reading, keep going. You know that you did the hard work to get here, and the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. S comes before W. In real life, work, hard work, and determination always come before success. So you did it, you're successful. Abraham Lincoln said in the 1800s, a long time ago, and I quote, "Upon the subject of education, I can only view it as the most important subject in which we as a people can be engaged in." Lincoln understood, even back in the 1800s, before there was such a thing as a global economy or any of the things that we have to deal with, he understood that the key to a betterment of society and the key to the betterment of each of us as an individual is education. So you're on your way. You're on your way to the next opportunity. And today we celebrate you took a giant step forward towards your next goal. So as someone who believes in lifelong learning, I hope that you will continue your learning. And I know it's not easy, but carry on. And GCC is here waiting for you. They'll leave the light on. President Bob will even hold the door open for you. I myself am a proud graduate of GCC. Very proud. I came here as an adult with children to support and a job. I entered into a 2-year degree program here, and can you guess how long it took me to pass that 2-year degree program? A little more. More. It took me 15 years to graduate from GCC while I was raising my children, working full-time. I took 1 course a semester, and I finally made it through. I kept going. So I know you can do that. It took me just 2 years to get through Harvard because GCC prepared me. It prepared me for the rest of my life and the next steps. Yeah, I started in my 30s. I graduated at 46. I am so old that we didn't even have history when I went to school. We didn't study history. We were history. It was before they invented history. So now you're armed with your high school equivalency. It opens doors. The more education that you attain, the more doors will be open to you. And I know this has not been easy for a lot of you. For some of you, putting your hand on that first door, placing your hand on that door, could have been the scariest thing you ever did in your life. For some of you, you had to kick down the door. And you did it, and you kept going. So I want to read to you a poem that was written by one of our Literacy Project students, Maria DePriest. She's a student in our Northampton classroom, and Maria is a nurse's aide. She has 4 children, and she is currently enrolled in the program to study for her high set. The name of Maria's poem is Good Morning World. Good morning, world. We meet again. As I see your face and you see mine, our smiles are the same. In the past, I would walk with my head down, but an upside down smile, a frown. Your smile, world, was bigger than mine, but today I outshine you. My head is up and I have no shame. I'm in school to further my education by getting my GED. I do math the way I've never done it before, and I'm good at punctuation, so I say, good morning, world. That's Maria's poem. I love that poem, and I say good morning to you, graduates. Remember how good you feel today and keep that going. Tonight we're here to celebrate that you've accomplished so much, and you must go on. This is a first step. Commencement means beginning. So you have a new beginning, it's a new morning, and you have to go on. I have one more thing to tell you that can help you on your way. Times will get rocky. I said, remember how you feel today. Believe in yourself. This is from the Reverend Jesse Jackson. He said, if my mind can conceive it and my heart can believe it, I know I can achieve it. Okay, if my mind can conceive it and my heart can believe it, I know I can achieve it. Okay, so I want you to repeat. I'm going to say it. Everybody in this room, this will help everybody. Repeat after me. If my mind can conceive it. Okay, if my mind can conceive it and my heart can believe it, and my heart can believe it. Louder. This is the big part, okay? I know I can achieve it. I know I can achieve it. Thank you very much, and good luck to you, graduates.
Thank you, Judith. I'd like to invite one of our current graduates to come up and speak. We have two student speakers, and the first one we'd like to invite Paul Norwood. Would you please come up?
Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Norwood. Last year, I was here watching my wife's graduation. It was this very night, and I was very proud of her. I knew how hard she worked to get everything done and pass her tests and really feel like she knew what she was doing. She did that, and it really inspired me. I thought to myself, with the kids and the housework and everything, you know, she could get it done. I needed to as well. So a few months later, I found myself unemployed for the first time in about 30 years. Well, I probably should have been upset, but the last 20 years I'd been at my job weren't the greatest. It wasn't the greatest job. It was okay. But I knew what I had to do, and between the literacy project and Annette starting it off down at the Career Center, I got it done. Here I am. And I'd like to inspire any people out there to do something else. You know, if you didn't graduate, graduate. If you wanted to finish college, finish college. If you want to start a new career, I'm currently enrolled in the manufacturing program through GCC. I'm working at Beat Fog Nozzle, and I have a new fun career that should lead to a CNC machining job. That's about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. We have another speaker. Nikki Williams, would you please come up?
When I started the HiSET class, I really didn't put much thought into what I was doing. Other than that, I was going to finally achieve what I hadn't in over 20 years. It was much more than that. It gave me so many things to be excited and prideful about. I discovered that I had my father's mathematical brain. I can now see how he had excelled at it. I was finally able to tell my son that I had graduated high school. In embarrassment, I had never told him that I had not graduated. The look of pride that he gave me that day will remain with me forever. I felt personally proud about something for the first time in a long time, the sense that I had done something great, that no one could ever take away, that would open new doors for me so I can now pursue new job and career possibilities. It's a great feeling. In class, it wasn't just about the learning. I began friendships I hope will last a lifetime. Without getting to know Ashley, a fellow student and good friend, I may have very well not have had the ambition to get up and go to class every day. Without Yolanda, another fellow student, I would have never finally written an essay. And I met Annette, who goes beyond teacher to me. She is a friend, teacher, and someone I can look up to. It doesn't matter how much I drove her crazy, she pushed me to do those darn essays. And as anyone who is in those class could tell you, I highly hated doing those essays. Thank you, Annette, for pushing me to be the person you knew I could be. In closing, I would like to congratulate everyone that's here graduating tonight and the ones that couldn't be here. We all have made great strides and sacrifices to be where we are today. Let's hope our future continues to moving forward. See, I'm still nervous. Let's hope our future continues to keep moving forward in a positive way. Thank you.
Thanks, Nikki. And now we have two special awards to present. I'm going to have Regina Curtis come up to introduce. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Joseph Martinez, come on up, and Elizabeth Bolts, I hope you're in the house. Yes. Come on up. And in the introduction of what these awards are, you're going to understand why I didn't know. I couldn't find her. I found him just 45 seconds ago, because these awards were created and presented by two very special people to our college community and to the world community in one case. And I was so excited that Dr. Conway was in the house that I forgot to look for my people. And after everybody came in and sat down, I realized, uh-oh. So I was sort of skulking around looking for them. And but here they are, bless their hearts. So it is my honor to actually work here at Greenfield Community College. I work in the development office. I have the greater honor of being an alum, as many of you I hope will be, from a long time ago. I'm as old as Judith, just about. And I get to work in the development and creation and helping find the support for the scholarships for students who come here. And a very special scholarship that we have is the Tricia Donovan Scholarship. Tricia Donovan passed away a few years ago, and her life's work was helping people with literacy, learning how to read, learning skills, and at that time, studying for and passing the GED and what would be the HiSET test if she was still with us today. And when I say life's work, I mean life's work. If I told you everything she did over her 30-plus year career, we'd be here till 11, so I'll spare you, but I think you are getting the gist of what an amazing, important woman she is. She touched so many lives, and that will be obvious when I tell you that after she passed away, first, there are two scholarships now in her memory. One is the Tricia Donovan Memorial Scholarship, and that was founded by Dr. Jill Kirk Conway, who is President Emeritus of Smith College and also a noted author and historian, and who lives in Conway part of the year, and was good friends with Tricia and still good friends with the second person I'm going to introduce you to, who is Tom Donovan, who is Tricia's husband. And Tom made it the work of a year, the concentrated work of a year to help us create these scholarships. And so when Dr. Conway founded the first scholarship, the Tricia Donovan Memorial Scholarship, which is for a student attending, a current student at GCC who has obtained their GED or HiSET class, some other criteria, but most of it is a 250-word essay in which they talk about what they want to conceive and believe and achieve at their time, in their time at GCC and in their lives. And these two people up here made very compelling arguments for just that, and I'm so glad that they're here to receive these scholarships. The second one is the Tricia Donovan Family Scholarship. The same criteria as the first one, except for it's a student who wants to go to GCC, not one who is already here, and oh, by the way, needs to be a single parent, a single woman, a single parent who's a woman. Tricia Donovan worked very closely with single women who were, single parent women who were struggling to earn their GEDs over the years, and she knew that extra little bit of support would make a big difference, and she was right. And Tom said, well, I'm just going to call or write to a couple hundred of my family and friends and see if we can get a lot of people to make donations and make this a big scholarship fund. And he did that and did it and did it, and it's one, you know, it's a really great scholarship that we're able to offer people. And I'm so glad that both of them could be here. If you could give a wave, Dr. Conway and Tom Donovan. Go ahead. I don't want, just because I'm up here holding these, I want you to know this is all reflected glory. This basically my job is to pass these out, those who are responsible for their creation and the maintenance, so it's great, exactly. So with all of that, and with bless your two hearts for being here after I couldn't find you earlier, I would first like to present the Tricia Donovan Memorial Scholarship to Joseph Martinez. Joseph, congratulations to you. You don't need an answer. And the second, the Tricia Donovan Family Scholarship, and you know the criteria I just told you about for that, so already we're impressed with you. So Elizabeth Bolts, please come on over. Congratulations to you. And do you know what you're saying? Okay. So the secret conversation I had is I just wanted to ask them, because I couldn't remember from their applications, if they knew yet what their plans are. And Joseph, Bob will be glad to hear this, is a liberal arts major, just exploring and thinking about what he wants to do and move toward, possibly into the paramedic field, he said, but right now he's definitely working on liberal arts. And Elizabeth is very focused and knows that she wants to go into our nursing program, our incredibly acclaimed and wonderful nursing program, so that's great. So congratulations to both of you.
So now we have another exciting moment. We actually get to give you some diplomas. If the graduates would please rise. Yes, we can clap. Hunter Fry. Congratulations. Can I just walk behind you? Right? Miranda Merrill. Congratulations. Paul Norwood. Crystal Rodriguez. Congratulations. Alexandra Rubinsky. Congratulations. Brittany Shepard. Congratulations. Samantha Sweeney. Congratulations. Carlos Vasquez. Congratulations. Shama White. Congratulations. Nikki Williams. Congratulations. Kendra's her stepmom. And Leaf Wright. So you guys can stand up again. Let's give everyone a round of applause, please. Oh, I forgot. You have to flip your tassels. And congratulations. So.